stat that stands out there on first sighting?
17-38 stands out. There's a barrage. Some guys who, we know you're going to get a lot of three-point attempts when you play Sydney, and there was a lot of three-point makes, and we have a habit of giving that up. I felt like some tough shots were made again. Sometimes you get teams that feel a little comfortable against. We've had guys who've shot the ball poorly all season long, and they get up against us, and they sort of out of nowhere. Deshaun Taylor, he hadn't pissed a drip early in the year, and then all of a sudden he bangs 5 or 6 against us, and then everybody was in on the party today. I didn't see a game on Friday in full, but I believe that was pretty nasty. So I think everybody from Sydney probably had a little bit of some introspective moments and came in with a good, great frame of mind.
Did you feel like you were just giving up too many open looks, or was it were you happy with the defensive containment overall?
Well, you got to pick your poison when you play Sydney. I mean, they're tremendously athletic and deep, and speed in the backcourt, and they put a lot of pressure on the rim, and so you are forced to help on that penetration, and then we're asking our players to make good basketball decisions to get to the shooters on time.
Yep.
You're just a little bit late and the guys are shooting that well, then you're going to have to live with that. I think there was a couple out there that we got pretty good contests on, but when guys are shooting at that level, then some of the time you're like, well, could probably live with that shot. Some of those, I think Newell's hit a couple tough ones early, and he really got the ball rolling for everybody.
What about the other end of the floor? I mean, first half, pretty solid performance. You shot the ball extremely well. So did they, clearly. I mean, they were the 60s percentage-wise. But what happened in the second half? And obviously they made a concerted effort to take the ball out of John's hands, and particularly in the third quarter. Did you feel like the guys didn't quite execute well enough to kind of deal with that strategy from the Kings? Because they had multiple switching guys on him all the time.
Scored 31 points, so we didn't execute too well. Look, we had our chances as well. It's been an issue for us for the last 3 rounds. It was our finishing in the paint and around the rim. I could read out the number, but I won't. But it was 3/3. It was whatever it was shocking. Our percentage of finishing around the rim. So, a little bit was self-inflicted, but all credit to Sydney as well with the changing in the structure and putting the pressure on John and taking it out of his hands. And even on our screens, I thought they did a great job of being physical with our cutters and not allowing us free access to the ball, which good to them.
John, was Taylor too harsh for you? First half, I mean, you kept Phoenix in the game when Sydney were just shooting the lights out, and then after half time, it all turned around.
Yeah, I had a good first half. I was getting the looks I wanted. I was knocking the shots down. My guys were setting good screens. That was kind of the game plan coming in here. We knew they were going to play deep on the pick and roll coverages, so we executed in the first half. I got a lot of looks. Second half, didn't quite as much. They were a little bit more physical on the screens. The looks weren't as open, but I had some good looks. I just didn't knock them down.
You guys have had 2 games back to back against the top 2 teams. Both teams play very physical. Did you feel like there was maybe a little bit of fatigue in the second half that cropped into you guys after that? Obviously you took a bit of a pounding at RSC Arena on Friday.
No, I don't think so. I'm not going to use that as an excuse. Both teams had to travel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we can't use that as an excuse. We just got to buckle down and get stops. There's no excuses. We fought hard. We just didn't get it done.
You're 9-13 now, John. What's the focus now? Obviously turns to Brisbane. You guys have got a pretty killer schedule because I know you're heading straight to Brisbane from here. Is it just now a case of let's just take this one game at a time and see what we end up with?
Absolutely. Just got to keep pushing, keep working. We're not going to give up. We're not going to quit. We have some games left that we want to win, that we think we can win, and we're just going to keep pushing and fight to the end.
One of the positives, again, with Kyle Adnam coming off the bench, and he's done a terrific job for you this year, hasn't he?
Hey, he's been great. I thought we saw 2 of the really good young Australian backup point guards in our NBL. Kyle likes the space that Sydney provides you around, in those mid-pick and rolls, and it's tailor-made for what he brings. And he's had a couple of good games against Sydney, and obviously he's quite familiar with the surroundings. So he's a good kid. He's put a good season together. It doesn't surprise me at all.
Simon, you started the year so promisingly with a new franchise, 4 out of your first 5. What's sort of happened since then?
We've lost games. No, not a whole. I mean, I don't mean to be facetious with the answer, but it's you know, it was kind of going back to the question before about, you know, what's going to happen for the remainder of the season, all those sorts of things. Nothing changes for us, and we didn't get too high when we were 4 of our first 5. You could have asked me what our record was. For us, it's always been week by week and trying to make progressions and get better at certain aspects of the game. We've stalled a little in recent times. Look, there's reasons for that. You know, we've probably struggled to get teams on the practice floor for about a month now, which has stalled our progression forward. But that's an NBL season. That's everybody. You know, it's you see form fluctuations throughout the year, and everyone goes, "Well, what's wrong with that team?" Well, normally they're probably struggling to get blokes on the floor. They're a little banged up and those sorts of things. So we've had a few issues in progressing during this last month. So that's where we've stagnated a little bit. You know, that was a bad loss for us tonight. Friday night was bad. You know, I think we've had 3 probably bad losses on the season, and every other game we've been right into it, up to our neck. You know, I think there was an exceptional shooting performance, and a team that had a point to prove, and a team that's got, you know, a pretty big prize they're working towards in Sydney with regards to that top spot. So, you know, a few forces worked against us tonight with that, but you know, I think we're still on our way. I think there's incremental improvements in aspects of our game. There's maybe just drop-offs in some others as well, though.
You brought Walker in the last week or so. How hard is it to bring someone at this stage of the season as well?
It's hard because I had to think who Walker was when you said that. So we brought Tuss in, yeah. Look, we haven't had a chance to train with him yet. You know, he's come in and he's had 2 shoot-arounds. You know, we met Tuss on Thursday at the hotel. Had to play Friday. So he got a shoot-around with us Friday morning. He did some video. He's up to date. He's actually been really good as far as being able to execute, given the absolute lack of preparation that he's had. But yeah, we need a chance to learn what he's, how he integrates, and how we can get him open, and how we can free him, and how we can make him a better player, and how he can make everyone else around him better too. And that just takes time. And we don't have a lot, but that's just the process when you make late changes in the season.
Another big effort on the boards from Dane Pinno. I know he's not as many as the last couple of games, but 13 rebounds in a game show. 13?
Yeah, he needs to be better than that. I think he's built a right up there, put the bar up here, and you know the expectations are high. Yeah, no, Dane's going to always be a good rebounder. He's got a great nose for the ball. He's very highly active in the offensive boards, and I think his defensive rebounding. Look, I don't think it has anything to do with Keith not being part of our team, but for whatever reason, when Keith did leave the team, Dane's defensive rebounding, I think, has just improved out of sight. So, you know, he's having a really good season. He's a great kid. You know, it's onwards and upwards. And, you know, when we started this thing 12 months ago, and we're looking at the free agents, and, you know, we took a chance on Dane. And my expectation was that he would be a very, very good NBL player, but I didn't know it'd be this quick. You know, it's a lot of credit to him and the performances he continues to put up.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers.
Thank you very much.